I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. Just fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, and boom, it's just me. I don't even know where Adam is. Hey, Deb. Sorry, yeah, it's just in an impromptu live. It was either that, to be honest, or I was going to go to sleep. One of the two. It's been a long day. Very long day. Deb, that was so last week. 8,110. Yeah. Yeah, so that's nice. Again, Nicola Bully case, we have a lot of UK subscribers, of course, as well. But this live today, I don't know, I was just sitting here thinking, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Do I want to do a live? Do I want to go to sleep, or do I want to work on a video? I just realized. Yeah. Oh, okay. Forgiven, of course. But anyways, yeah, so this one we're going to talk about the Texas tragedies. And there's a couple of those. And about Flora. Not too much about Flora. More about the mention of Galen being on Meow Zedong. I don't even know how to say that properly. Meow Zedong. The channel over there, which Deb pointed out to me, by the way. And if anyone doesn't know about the Flora fires, of course, a very tragic death of 4 girls. And it was not accidental. And this was back in 2017, prior to the Delphi case. And so Galen is the mother of those 4 girls. And that was her whole entire, her family there. Like, that was her life, her 4 girls. I couldn't imagine ever being in her shoes. And I haven't fully watched that live because Deb only told me about it as I got home. So I watched just a little bit about it. Skipped right to the part till I seen Galen, yeah. Meow Zedong. Okay. Hi, Sister. How are you? So whoever joins us live, then welcome, obviously. So let me pull that up actually. Quickly share the screen. And I got it right here somewhere. Oh, I pulled them all up. Is it this one? No, that's not it. Honestly, prior to this live, I probably had about 50 tabs open. I had a lot. Oh, yeah, that's the one. I didn't think I was on the right one, but I am. Okay, so did I share it? Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, sorry. 2016. Yeah, you're right. 2016. Thank you, Lisa. Great. In my head, I was thinking just a few months prior to Libby and Abby, but Libby's and Abby's right was in 2017. So, right, just same with Karina McClarkin. 2016, yeah. Sorry about that. I knew it, but obviously in my head I had it twisted in the same year, but not head. I knew I was going back. But thank you. Yeah. So this is what I want to do. I simply want to. I posted this, and I'm urging you guys to as well. If you're not subscribed to Meow Zedong, then please go subscribe to the channel. They're really doing a lot with the Flora case. The Flora case, again, it's a tragedy. It was deemed as, that there was an accelerant used. So that means obviously it's for homicides. And so Galen, she was on, like I said, not too long ago today. So I posted it to the Twitter, Facebook, the different pages I have on Facebook, as well as to the community page. So I'm asking that you guys share it to your platforms as well. You know, this mother needs justice, just like any of the other true crime cases out there. But you know that Delphi, Flora Fires, Ray Hanish, Nicole Bowen, um, and all those cases that are around are, of course, close to our hearts because, the Delphi kind of encompasses Karina McClurkin and all those other cases that go with it. There's obviously more, but, and Suzanne Morphew, her anniversary for 3 years is in 3 more days here on the 10th of May. I guess in England, it's a holiday or a day off in the over there because of the king's crowning or whatever. I was just because I was just thinking to myself today, like, Deb, do you guys have a holiday coming up here as well? We call it the May long weekend. I can't remember what the official name is. If it's Victoria Day, I can't actually remember. You know how when you don't have to pay attention to it, you kind of forget. Um, yeah, absolutely. On there. So again, you guys with the Flora again, they're really just trying to raise awareness. You can see that there's certain channels that are really pushing hard, especially on the Flora, fires and for justice for this mother. It's honestly like in the just a little bit that I'd seen of the clippings so far, like I probably watched like about only 5 minutes so far, just because like I said, I just got home. It's been a long day. I was working on videos. I barely had any like 3 hours sleep total today, or from last night to today. So I went to bed at like 5, got up at 8:30, whatever that is, 3.5 hours, I suppose. And then my husband and I went out and we went and did everything to the car, washed it and vacuumed everything like that. So I hung out with him, and then just to get some fresh air as well. And I just really got home like within the last basically half hour here almost. My iPad actually died. Drats. But anyways, so again, if you guys could subscribe to this channel, follow, and help out, share it to your social media, then that would be great. So it's great to see that this live happened. Great to see that Galen joining that live. And again, justice for all those girls. I mean, I remember there was a part there where she started talking about each of the girls, how each of the girls' personality was and stuff like that. But that's hard. That stuff's hard to watch because again, I always try to put myself in somebody else's shoes, throughout everything, really. I always, how people talk to each other or this or that and stuff like that. And it's too heart wrenching. It's very heart wrenching. And it's not that it happened to me because it happened to this poor lady here who lost all her children. But not only that, but obviously, that house still sits there to this day. I'm really glad with the Brian Koberger case that they are tearing that house down, to be honest, because just like the Flora one, it's a reminder, of something awful and tragic that happened. Actually, I would like to know, I wonder, I'm not sure if it was asked Deb in that live or not, how she feels about that the house is still there, you know, um, and whatever's going to happen with that house there. I don't know. Yeah, and Deb's son graduated. No, not your son. Wait, whose graduation was it again, Deb? Somebody's graduation. Darn it. Can't remember now because I was thinking of somebody else talked about a graduation too. Whose graduation was it, Deb? You said. I mean, yeah, okay, it was your son. But then I was thinking to myself, do I have this wrong? They didn't ask him. So, hi, Misty. How are you? So the other thing I want to talk about now is I'll stop screen. So again, let me go to. Why is that one? Okay. Um, I'm gonna go to this one right here. Let me take that down, just so I don't got too many tabs open. Okay, so we all know, I'm pretty sure you guys are, most of you all are familiar with the Texas, shooting that happened yesterday. So for the people that are in chat here now, I'm curious. I mean, there's not very many people, but then again, it wasn't really a live planned either. Um, but anyways, bachelor's graduation from college. Okay, yeah. Uh, and now he is working in his master's in business. Okay, gotcha. All right. So I'm curious how many of you guys, like myself, because somebody shared it to me. I'm curious how many of you guys seen actual footage of all those victims that were on the ground, and seen the tweet that someone put out with that, plus the shooter on the ground as well. One second here, guys. I just gotta switch this over for a second here, and then come off of here, studio. Sorry, guys, just switching over to my. Oh, Deb, 8,111. Okay, let's see here. Let me just go to my content and go right here. Okay. Yeah. So I want to know. So this is what I was talking about with the Nicola Bully case. You know, Curtis from Curtis Media, I'd posted footage of, in the body bag, I guess, of Nicola Bully, as they were pulling out of water, as long as well with a news crew, okay? And that's because those people were there first before the other camera people, I guess, got there or whatever. But anyways, my point is this. People, like everyone, we're all hypocrites in this world. None of us can be excused ever from being a hypocrite of something. Is that you don't want to see it, but you look, because it's right there, so you can't help but look. But then that part of you is going, why would somebody post this? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, these are people's children, and somebody's sitting there, like, well, you know what? Let's listen to this for a minute, and then we'll talk about it. Let's do that.
Texas father being called a hero. Stephen Spainhauer rushed to the scene, arriving even before first responders got there, helping victims while his own son was sheltering in place inside of the H&M where this happened. Stephen, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
And Stephen, I know you got to the scene and there was a small group of people standing there with their phones out, filming the people who were lying on the ground. What did you see and what did you do instead?
Well, my first responder training kicked in. I probably said a few choice words I shouldn't have said, but I told them, if you're not going to help, you don't need to be standing around filming. I need people to help me. I had 3 dead people. I was trying to get help on 911. I had a couple of people stop to offer help, but then once they saw the carnage, they did not stay. And I don't blame them. It was pretty bad.
I know you saw a woman who was crouched in a bush first. Can you walk us through what you saw?
Yeah, I took the phone from one of the people that was standing there that was associated with the victims. He couldn't speak much English, so I calmly told the first 911 that I needed 7 ambulances. I had 7 people down, and I needed a SWAT response as well as a Code 3 police response for a mass shooting. My son was locked down in H&M. I knew he was secure. I was going to reunify with him, but did not realize I was walking into a situation where my first responder training was going to be necessitated. The first girl I got to was crouched in the bushes. I touched her back. She's still warm. I tried to feel for a pulse. There was no pulse. I don't want to get too graphic, but when I pulled her head back, there was nothing left of what was once a nice, bright young face. I found a second victim that was already expired. I tried to do CPR on a third victim, and he passed. At the same time, I then found a 4 or 5-year-old crawling out from under the other victims and started wandering around asking for help for his mama. And I took him to the side he was the first victim I got out with a police officer assistance that showed up just a few seconds later.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack in what you just said. You said that the first woman who was still warm, are you saying that she didn't have a face?
No, she did not. There was nothing left of her face when I looked at it.
Okay. And I know that you are talking about discovering that child who survived. He was underneath his mother's body. Did his mother survive?
I don't know. Everybody was on the ground. Some were breathing, some were not. And he crawled out. He was walking around in pools of blood. I just quickly grabbed him and checked him for injuries. He said he was okay. He had Asiatic features. I'm assuming it was a boy. It might have been a girl, but there was so much blood I couldn't tell. So no gunshot wounds on the arms or the abdomen or chest or the legs. Couldn't speak for the head because I got him in a police car that showed up as fast as we could.
And that child originally was found underneath his mother's body. Is that right?
I'm assuming it's the mother. It was a female that had several bullet wounds, and she crawled out from under her. And so I'm assuming it's mother. It might have been a brother, an aunt, or a grandmother. I'm not for sure. I just know he was underneath several victims.
What did you tell that child?
He said, "My mom is hurt. My mom is hurt. I need help. My mom is hurt." And I just told him, I said, "We got people coming to help. You're going to be okay. Are you okay? Do you understand me? Do you understand my English?" "Yes, I understand. I just need help." I just tried to keep him calm because I didn't want him to go into shock. I didn't want him to see anything more than he had already experienced. So I just kept him about 10 feet from the carnage that was behind him and kept him focused until I could get him into a police car. The first police car showed up. I'll never forget the look on the police officer's face. He's like, "What can I do?" I said, "Take this kid and get him to the hospital. Just get him out."
And I do want to ask you about that because in the early reports, as the media was just looking at the aerial shots of all of this, there were comments about the lack of ambulances on that scene initially. You say some of the victims were so horrifically injured that you were putting them in police cars and sending them straight to the hospital, that they could not wait for ambulances. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. But you got to realize when you got, and I've worked as a 911 operator, as a police officer before. When you got 400 or 500 people calling 911, you're trying to find out where the shooter is. What does the shooter wear? Where's the shooter going? You don't want any more people hurt. Your secondary goes to find out if there are victims and where they're at.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider.
Okay, you guys. So just gonna go back to that just to kind of leave it. Where was on there? Okay, there. We'll leave it there. Okay. Geez, I seriously almost was crying there. As I was listening to him, the gentleman was starting to well up as he's talking. Like, look at his face right there. It's just an anguish. Shoot. And Cami says, my best friend's mother was there, literally walking into HMV. When she heard shots, she ran out and hid in another store. What do you even say to something like that happens like that? You got, like I said, I don't know if you guys did or not. I don't know that anybody answered me actually. One sec, guys. Just give me a sec. So let me ask you guys quickly again. Did anyone in this chat that's in here right now see the video where they showed the victims on the ground? That horror, when someone first sent me that, I actually thought at first that it wasn't real, because the first face that I saw, it reminded me of like a Muppet, that's what it reminded me of. And so I literally had to stop the screen and make it bigger. And then I realized that what I was looking at was, I don't know if it was an Asian person that had really dark hair, but there was like, you know, a gunshot to the face right here. Because at first it reminded me of like Sesame Street, like as if it was like some sort of joke or whatever. Until like I said, I looked at it closer and I was like, wait a second, that's somebody's face, you know? No, a video, but a photo on Twitter. Okay, so yeah, so I actually, let me put it this way. I was sent it, I seen the thing, um, clicked on it, and it was kind of like whoever was there, and like this gentleman said, if you're going to sit there and do something, why don't you put down your darn cameras and come help? How about them apples? But then you have these disgusting people that sit there with their video recorders as if it's some sort of, like, I don't even know what to say to that, to be honest. I could never imagine myself standing there with a phone while these people that you don't know if they're alive, if they're not. Oh, Facebook is giving issues. 1 second. Yes, I guess apparently something's happening with Facebook today on that. And so I couldn't imagine. I'd be in there like a dirty shirt helping wherever I could. But you have these people that sit there with these phones, and that's how pathetic that anyone that sat there and literally took that video, seriously, it wasn't for anybody's benefit but themselves. That wouldn't even enter my mind, but this is how our society is now. Phone in the hand, let's record a police officer, and let's provoke that police officer. Not to say that there aren't good things that happen because of phones and stuff like that, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the crime of these. Not only there was, okay, I know that I saw a child in that bunch, and I hope it's that child that he was speaking about, because it sure didn't look like it. When someone gets shot and things get removed from the bodies, I could care less, honestly, if this video goes yellow, and it probably will stay yellow because, like whatever YouTube on this one. It has, this is to do about that somebody literally takes a video and then puts it on their Twitter to sit there and share with everybody. These family members and stuff like that have to see this, that come across this. So I haven't looked yet, because I did. So when I was originally sent it, like I said, I clicked on both. One was of the people that look like they were, you know what it reminded me? It reminded me of when you take people and you just throw them in a stack. That's what it reminded me of. And then the other one, of course, was the shooter, in a pool of blood and face up, face showing, with his whatever gear on that he had on in front of Fatburger. And then so later on, I went back to the Twitter and they were still up. It just said, this is sensitive information. You think? Something like that. So I haven't checked yet, you guys, to see if it's still up there. Actually, you know what? Just give me a second. I'm going to go take a look, because I still have the links. Hold on. Let me show you something really quick. As I went to post something or to go look at the Twitter. Hold on a second. Stop share. 1 second. So, my thumbnail for tonight's live, apparently. So, I just literally went to the other thing or whatever, like the other, to go over to Twitter. And then all of a sudden I clicked Facebook. And then it says right this, eh? So, wait a second. So your post goes against community standards on dangerous individuals. No one else can see your post. We have these standards because we want everyone to feel safe and respected. In your content, if your content goes against our community standards again, your account may be restricted or disabled. You can disagree with the decision if you think we got it wrong. Well, absolutely. So this is my thumbnail. Simple as that. It's a thumbnail for a live true crime cases, Texas tragedy, videos posted online of horrific crime. Tonight at 9, whatever. That's pretty tame in comparison. It's not like I'm showing a video of it. So what would have caught the trigger of that? Texas? This is what I'm talking about. Filtering stuff. Just like this. I haven't even done the live. This was simply just a post for doing the live. And that's how stupid that Facebook and stuff like that is, got reached. Yet this is nominal. Like, this is just literally a thumbnail. I'll tell you what brought this up. Texas. Remember, like the, C word? You can't say the C word, basically, or else it goes against all these different standards. And yet they're not controlling anything, right? What a joke. Sorry, but that's a joke. I was actually being very careful in how I worded that on there, to be honest with you. But anyways, just something as simple as that. Exclamation mark point causes issues. I don't have an exclamation mark point, do I? Texas tragedy. I don't know. I all I do on Facebook is freaking post my videos, the lives and videos. That's all I ever do on Facebook. I don't talk on my Facebook. I don't do really anything. All I do is ever post my lives and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I just think it's a sad day when a simple thumbnail wasn't like there was an article. It was just a thumbnail. But it's because, to me, it's because of the Texas stuff going on. Oh, okay. And so it's catching stuff with that because it's a main thing going on. Anyways, whatever, ridiculous, whatever, Facebook. Anyway, let me just go quickly take a look, guys. I mean, I know Facebook has some issues going on. I don't know if that's it. But anyways, give me 1 sec. Oh, you guys want to see something funny as I just went to Twitter? Not for that video still yet. Let me show you this one. Okay. So the docket is someone that provides a lot of the documents for cases like Brian Koberger, Delphi, different cases. Okay. Um, so the docket says, look at this says, we put a warning on these tweets because they might have sensitive content, like obviously, entity, sexual content, violence, gore, or hateful symbols. We know you don't always get it right. So if you think you're flagged by your tweet for a mistake, you can appeal this warning by clicking on each tweet. Keep in mind, this doesn't guarantee it will be removed. And he says, are you effing kidding me at Elon Musk? You let those people, kids' videos, pics flow freely, but give me a warning over an article from a reputable website I shared. TFOH with this bull. Well, fancy that. Fancy that. Freedom of speech, eh? Yeah, why is it all the news stations can post freely? They can say every word underneath the sun. They can do whatever they want. And all we ever get is, a yellow for monetization because of the content, over the stupidest things. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyways, let me go back to what I was doing. One sec. I'm gonna hope it's taken down. Okay. So when I went to it, it said this tweet violated the Twitter, of course, the Twitter rules. I'm sure it got reported multiple times. This tweet, learn more. Nope, don't need to learn more on there. So anyway, let me take that down as well. Share screen. And go back to where I was, which was this right here. Okay. Then there's another thing that happened in Texas today, you guys, as well. Another 7 people were injured. I guess if I go to my other accounts, Deb, it's going to go for all of the accounts because, I posted thumbnail. Gotta change thumbnail, I guess. Whatever. This is why I honestly sometimes don't even like covering some of these things, and it's just for the stupidity of these things that happen. I mean, it's news. It's news and it's everywhere. Anyways, whatever. Anyways, all I know is, regardless, it's a horrific thing. And this gentleman, did his best to help out the poor child, poor families, the victims of yet another tragedy that we keep seeing. Like, you guys know I'm Canadian, obviously. But obviously I follow I couldn't even tell you about a Canadian case at the moment, to be honest. I really don't. I don't pay attention to the Canadian news going on around me, to be honest, because everything I do is focused typically out of the US and obviously the England couple cases there thing going on. Um, I just can't believe that. I just can't believe that literally people post stuff like that at the expense of family members. You know, it, like, I mean, it was gruesome to look at. And it was like when the person did the video, it's almost like, I don't know if they were, you know, sometimes if you do certain things to a video, it can kind of loop around. Um, so it kind of was like going in and out and in and out. Sometimes if it's like if you trick the video in a sense, and you put a video at 1.5 speed or whatever, then it doesn't get copyrighted. If it's from a news, like Fox 59 is really bad for copyrights. News Nation, not really, hardly ever. But like the one I did for Nicola Bully that had This Morning in it, within a few days, boom, copyright. But yet so when I put that same video into another video at 1.5 speed, doesn't catch it. So the video that the person did have up was going like really fast, in a sense, and that's why I was like, is that Ernie? Like, it looked like a Muppet. And then you realize what occurred. Very sad. You guys still here? Like, is it nobody's talking? Is it like, I know that there's only 14 people in chat, but you guys here? Hello? Somebody type something. Just so I know you guys are still awake. Okay. Well, nobody was saying anything, and I'm like, wait, is this thing still live, or are they taking it off the YouTube thing as well? I can't see why, because I mean the thing's everywhere, right? Okay. All right, guys. Well, it's just that this wasn't a planned live, and I know unless it got certain titles in it, like Delphi, or different ones or whatever, then I'm here in sunny Orlando. Hello, shady lady. Okay. That I know then, and Saturdays and Fridays are more, I mean, the weather's getting nicer. Like, you guys, next week, I don't know what it is, your guys' this thing, but it's going to be like next weekend, they're showing like 29 and 31. So typically, an average nice day weather, when it's just a decent, nice day, is typically like from 23 to 26. That's a decently nice day without it being too hot. But the minute you start getting into the 27s, 28s, especially the 30s, that's when you're just like, oh my God. And that's why, we have not one, but two air conditioners, portable ones. But those things jack up your electricity bills so badly, it's not even funny. Like, literally, the electricity bill in a one-bedroom apartment, you guys, literally goes from $250-$70 every 2 months to like 400 and something when you have the air conditioning units on, and that's just crazy. And of course, they mess with your mind. Let's just call them gigajoules. Let's just sit there and put 0.164 gigajoules. Those people are scammers, right? Those electricity people. Those people are total scammers. Those people will literally, you guys ever notice that sometimes when you have a really high bill? Well, I'll tell you, The reason why you have a really high bill in the summertime and stuff like that, even if you've turned off all your freaking stuff, for your heating and stuff, is because they know winter's coming, and that's when everything gets jacked up and people start using more again and again and again. Because in your head, you're like, hold on a second, I should see a huge difference in my bill because I've turned off my heat to zero, type of thing. But nah, those people, who isn't scamming almost in this world anymore, right? If they can charge you a filing fee or this fee and that fee, they will. Criminals. This world is so greedy. But anyways, we're not here for that. Actually, we can do whatever we want because we're adults, right? We can do whatever we like. So let's show the next one. Where are you? Let me find you. Okay, where did the other one go? This one right here. Okay. So this one says, here, let me make it bigger. So this one's out of the New York Times, and it says that at least 7 are dead after car strikes migrants in Texas border town. So this happened today, it was updated at 7:08. So let's play this one. Wait, shooting outlet. Wait, no, okay, hold on. It's saying up next.
At about 8:30 in the morning, we received a phone call about a major accident where a gray Land Rover ran over several people that were waiting at a bus stop across the street from the Ozanam Center. When the officers got here, they could confirm that there was approximately 7 people that were dead, and about 46 people were transported to the hospital with minor to major injuries. The driver was detained by officers, and he's getting medical care right now as we speak. The investigation is still ongoing. As far as witnesses know, they're saying that the car lost control. Now, whether we know whether it was an accident or intentional, that is still under investigation.
Why is it telling me the same stuff? I already know. It's like every time I turn around, that thing's popping up. I'm here. Hi, Charlotte. How are you? On there. Anyways, so that was another one. Now, I know I was on YouTube here. Let me see. Everything's so slow. Let's just see here. How's you guys doing today anyway? It's Sunday, isn't it? It's not even Saturday. It's Sunday today. Let me just pull up the other one that I saw from News Nation. Yeah, here was the one. Okay, let's go to that one right there.
This crash suggesting they believe it was intentional.
Good evening, Natasha. Well, we don't know whether it was intentional or not just yet, but right now I'm live outside the Ozanam migrant homeless shelter here in Brownsville, which just this morning was the scene of a horrific crash that claimed the lives of 7 people. Many of those people, migrants from Venezuela who had traveled here in search of the American dream, only to have it end right behind me, less than 6 miles away from the border, where many of them crossed into the United States.
A crime in a time of crisis. 7 dead and 10 injured outside a bus stop in Brownsville. Luis, a migrant from Venezuela, was at the bus stop Sunday morning when a man driving a gray Range Rover drove through a crowd of people, including migrants waiting for a ride to the airport.
Varios compañeros como Many companions not sure, somewhere about 20 to 25 people waiting there for the bus. Some of us to go to the airport. A lady comes by in a white car and tells us to separate. Behind her, a person in a car going full speed and was yelling at us, saying profanities, driving over us. He was coming in like 60 kilometers when he saw us, observed all the migrants standing at the curb. That's where he accelerated and ran us over. We are traumatized. I don't know what to think. Horrible. I don't wish this on anybody.
According to Luis, he was one of 3 people who walked away from the crash. The dead and injured, travel companions of his on his long journey to the United States.
Estamos traumados. Yo estoy traumado, no sé qué pienso, no sé cómo me siento. Es horrible, no se lo deseo a nadie.
At least 10 others were injured in the crash. They were taken to hospitals across the Rio Grande Valley. The driver of the SUV was arrested and charged with driving recklessly.
Of course, we have confirmed that 7 individuals are dead. Some of them are migrants, along with some of the injured. We had the number between 4 to 6. Now the injured parties have gone up to 10.
According to Brownsville police investigator Martin Sandoval, the driver is not cooperating.
Now, we don't know the actual cause of the accident. Like I said, it could be 3 different things. 1, it could be intoxication. 2, it could be just an accidental one. Or 3, it could be intentional. He's actually given us various different names, so it's kind of hard to identify him. But as soon as we get him to our city jail, he's going to get photographed and fingerprinted, and his fingerprints will be run through our AFIS system in order for us to get an accurate ID.
Well, Sandoval told us they have yet to establish motive in this case, but they have ordered a toxicology report on that driver. But of course, that could take days, maybe even weeks, for them to get back those results. Reporting live in Brownsville, Sonia Hill.
Okay, well, first of all, I hate it when people call me Sonia. And my nickname is Sunny. My real name is Sonia. I hated it when people would pronounce it wrong. You know how we all have our pet peeves? And whenever somebody would say that, it would remind me of Sonia the Duck. There was this show back when I was little called Sonia the Duck. And I don't know why, but I just hated that pronunciation of it. You know, when you're so used to your own name being Sonia. Because Sonia is spelled with a Sonya, which is mine, or Sonja, or Sonia. Is there when I hear Sonia, it's anyways, you guys, I want to ask you guys, that's Daryl Brooks stuff. Recklessly. That's Daryl Brooks stuff. Is that something else that happened there, Cray? Daryl Brooks? But anyways, Deb kind of commented earlier and said about the mental health issues going on. You guys live in the States, most of you guys. Is it just a typical day in the USA, this stuff? Because it seems to me like every time I turn around, there's like, it's not just one, it's like a mass thing happening, right? How many times have we, being in true crime, right? Of course, you're seeing all the cases, or not all of them, but because there's too many, but you're seeing like all these, things going on, all these, the schools and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of curious, is this like, oh, just another day in the U.S., something else is happening. I know that stuff happens every day, don't get me wrong. But it just seems like there's multiple mass things happening. And, the thing is that, unless it's just me, but following true crime, you're hearing of stories, and we hear of like the Brian Koberger case and, different other cases that are going on. But for me, it's like, being in true crime for like 3 years, only in the last, say, half a year, more so, it's like every time you turn around, there's some mass event that keeps happening. Like, and it just seems like a lot in a little bit of time. So it's striking me as noticeable. And it almost feels like one of those things, well, somebody did, like this person, if it turns out to be true that it was done intentionally, obviously somebody was having rage that day and decided that maybe he was targeting, the migrants of the bus stop, but we'll see whatever happens with that. I don't know if it can be proven, however, but I guess they'll see. Especially if the guy said that they're given different names, he's given different names. And then the guy, at the mall there, you know. Mm. It's always so hard because I always think of the internet as like a catch-22. It's one of those things that monkey see, monkey do in a lot of ways. Huh. Or hey, I'm gonna do more than because this person's saying not thinking right? So it's thinking, hey, that person took out 7. Well, hey, I'm gonna take out more. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do whatever. I'm gonna one up that one, or I'm gonna copy that one. And it just seems like the internet's like a catch-22, full of evil but full of good by the same token. Do you guys remember during the C? When I say the C, we're talking about, when you have a flu. Do you remember that one person, that TikToker, that was literally licking the toilet, and then it went viral? The stuff that people do, and then it turns into like a craze. That's how, what, Cray Cray, that's my gut feeling I got from that, to be honest with you. I probably wouldn't have said that, but because it was said a couple times, it makes me feel like that was possible. Someone that, some people, right? They just, like I said, they just lose it. They're racist or something already. And whatever's angering them, you know how it goes. They're taking our jobs, they're doing this, they're doing that, and blah, blah, blah. And, instead of just people being people, and trying to care about each other, it's not such a nice world out there. We can pretend like it is, I suppose, but it's really not. I don't think it is. In my perfect world, people would just, I don't know, just hard, I really do hate to see what, like, like everyone as we get older, right? We can look back in hindsight and see all the different changes going on, and I know that every probably generation is going to see this, but, like the huge difference in, the work ethic, um, just everything, honestly. To me, it's turned into a real, I don't even know what to say, really. Let me put it this way. I'm just going to say it's a world I don't like out there too much. You can't say nothing, do nothing. Look at Facebook and Twitter right there, right? It's just thumbnail. There's nothing to it. I literally tried to use the best words, and I try to do that with all the thumbnails because I don't want to use the M word or whatever. Like I said, news stations can do it. They get away with whatever they want, they use every word underneath the sun. Yet if we say too many words too much, the video goes yellow. Maybe they go yellow for them too, and they just don't care, right? Because it's news. They've already making their millions of dollars putting out the news. They don't need YouTube's money. It's not becoming a very ugly world. I guess it's how you look at it, really. I kind of live in my own little bubble, but when you're in true crime, you can't help but see the uglier side of it all. But the bottom line is that it's all around you, you know. I can't say that there's not a lot of good in the world, but I just wish that there was a lot more of it. We can see here online too, right? You have your good people like yourselves who can have a nice conversation, that can get along, that can say what you want, and not be offensive about it, just stating an opinion or whatever. And then you got those people that want to go troll, that try to, like I said, always talk crap about you and stuff like that, you know, the haters and stuff like that all the time. And there's a ton of those people. And then look at the tragedy that happened to that podcasting couple, where someone that was following them um, basically then stalked them and took their lives, you know. And the thing is that it's not like it's not real. As me and my husband were driving back home today, in my head, all I could think about, actually, just as my brain always is thinking, and all I could think about that all these parents of these children have no clue what predators, or even, because it's not in their comprehension to see what we see in true crime, but it's not even in their comprehension to think that all this evil truly exists. I didn't realize it, you know, like digging into Delphi and stuff like that, and learning that there's all these like C sounds going on, and all these people that are targets, and all the tricks that they try to use to lure, these people in. Because we all know, especially girls, right? When you're a girl, you just want to be accepted, and you want to be this, and you want to be popular, you want to be cool, and whatever. And we all know that there's a lot of girls out there sending off their pictures that they shouldn't be, to these different people, and they're not really thinking too much about it. They probably thinking, well, I shouldn't probably be doing this, but they're not thinking that their lives are going to end or something like that. Like, they're not even thinking like that someone could do them real harm, and then they meet up with someone because this person, right, a typical person is like, oh, you're so beautiful, basically feeding into the ego. When who doesn't love getting fed into the ego, really? Yeah, I know, Cindy. Yeah, and that's me too, right? Like I said, like in my bubble world, which I try to eliminate out there anymore, because I used to walk around with these rose glasses, just, laughing through life, da 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 da. And little by little, as the years go by, and people are disowning you, you know, I don't know how to explain this properly. It's not probably easy to say it. Like, meaning, it's not an easy way of saying it, but I was never a person to go to my superior to say that that person or that person was doing this or doing that. I would go straight to that person and say, "Do you have a problem with me? And if you do, can you at least tell me why? Because I thought we were just fine," or something like that. But then you always find out there's those people that are going there and there and there. And then guess who the bad person usually is? The bad person, for some reason, would be back to me. I'm just using me as an example. And it happens to my husband, who is a great person. But we don't necessarily put up with bullcrap either, you know? So when I get accused of just trying to be a decent person, and I'll deal with you directly on, because I don't need to sit there and be this little weasel that goes to the upper management or do that stuff. I'll just literally ask the person, "Do you have a problem with me? And if so, what is it? Are you jealous because I'm outgoing? Are you jealous because, like, you just hate me for whatever reason? Like what?" Because I actually just go around life going, nice, nice person, decent, yeah, whatever, whatever. Unless of course, they're just simply jerks. When somebody's just totally being, like, you say hi to somebody and they're like, "No, I don't need help," or something like that. And you're just like, "Oh, who pissed in your cornflakes today? Oh, well, glad I'm me and not you," type of thing. That's how I basically walk around the world, you know? And so it always seems like that, you know. I remember my best friend when I used to live here. I know we were good, really good friends, me and my ex-husband, and we always hung out. And my son's best friend was his best friend. Actually, that best friend of his died last year, or was it last year or year before now? I think it was last year. Anyways, of an OD. I tried to say it was like the C word, but it was OD. But anyways, She told me that she was having an affair. And I said, you shouldn't have told me that, because I find that despicable, disgusting. You're trying to have your cake and eat it too, right? It goes against the morals of how you treat people. So I said to her, well, I'm going to tell you this, because Dan, her husband, was more of a friend than actually she was. But we were still really good friends. Actually, she always wanted to be more like me. You know when those people are introverts and they want to be like the extroverts? So I said to her, look, I'm going to tell you, Kathy, I'm not going to ever lie for you. I said, so if Dan ever the day comes that Dan asks me, if you're having an affair, don't expect me to lie for you. I'm telling you that right now, because you really shouldn't have. I wish you wouldn't have told me this. Well, that day came. One day I'm sitting there cooking dinner, phone rings and it's Dan. And he's just like, Sonny, I need to ask you something. Is my wife cheating on me? Of course, I didn't lie, but I didn't directly say. I just said, Dan, you need to talk to your wife and ask her that. And he's like, that's the answer I needed. Now, he was tracking her because she was online and she was whatever. So I distinctly had told Kathy, if the day ever comes that Dan asks me, don't expect me to lie for you. And I said that to her specifically so that when that day comes, that, she'll know that I had said that to her. So what, of course, happened? Our friendship disintegrated. She blamed me, in a sense, for thinking on her, which I didn't feel like I did. I didn't say, Dan, your wife's having an affair. I literally said, talk to your wife. Feeling heartbroken because Dan was such a great guy and a great husband, and he might not have been perfect, but he was a real funny dude, and he was a great guy, and he worked hard for his family. And Kathy had to get her fake, those things right here, right? She had to get that fake and whatever, and it's kind of like she was trying to be something she wasn't, in a sense, but it was kind of like who was the bad person? That's a lie. We know Sonny doesn't cook. Lisa. Not that bad. Okay, I think I was making gel candles at the time. I can't remember. That's still cooking, okay? But I'm pretty sure I was probably making gel candles, actually. I just remember being on the stove, okay? I just remember that. But anyways, so it never fails, right? So here, me and her had a really good relationship. And as time went on, and then she was giving me the cold shoulder, right? Of course, when she saw me or whatever. But I won't have any of that. I didn't do anything wrong to you. You told me, and I told you this. And then I'm the bad person. Okay, all right. Nice knowing you. Have a great life. So you ruined our friendship that we had. Actually, I guess it really wasn't a friendship, right? I think we ended up talking years later. In a sense. And so these people, I don't have a lot of friends. I purposely never went out of my way. I didn't want that in my life. I didn't want chaos of a lot of people and friends like, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that. Blah, blah, blah. I like my own time, and then I like to do things time. I like to kind of balance that stuff out. But so I like to keep my friends close, and you have to be a really good friend in order to get into my little life, in a sense. And it's just because I have such a high level of standard, because friends are supposed to be there for you, not call you up at the last second and give you some lie cock. I hate being lied to. It is my biggest thing. My back goes up very bad. For me to forgive someone once they've lied to me and crossed that line, I'm freaking like heels in the ground. But I have done it. It's rare, but I have done it. But so little by little, as you're going through things, ex-husband stuff, you caused this divorce. No, I didn't. Pretty sure those words came out of your mouth, not mine. I thought we were best friends. What are you talking about? You're the one rambling on to me about what a piece of whatever I am and this and that all of a sudden. What happened to the sun shone out of my butt type of thing, And little by little, you just start pulling yourself away from people. because you're just tired of those type of attacks. And that's what I find hard to deal with. Probably the hardest thing I have a hard time dealing with is when you're accused of stuff and you didn't do anything. And it happens with creators. I'm not going to get into that again, but it happens with creators too. You don't do nothing, you're helping them, supporting them, you're doing all this. And then all of a sudden they seem to have issues all of a sudden. They don't tell you about it. They just seem to start having issues with you. You know, whether it's you're growing in subs over top of them and that makes them jealous, whether you're, it doesn't matter. And it's the stupidity of all that. And you just think in your head, am I from a different planet than these people? Like, because I thought this world, you know, that people are supposed to support each other and help each other, be kind to each other, especially in true crime, you know? And then you see all this stuff going on, and it's really hard on me personally, you know, to actually work in true crime because there's nothing nice about it, right? The things that are nice about it is that you're trying to bring attention or awareness to helping others or bring people on as guests, you know, and stuff like that. That's the only way I can justify being even in true crime, is because of that reward of being unselfish, you guys, right? Being unselfish, and you guys, you know, maybe you're posting something, you're following the different chats because you care. You guys would not be here if you guys didn't care. So even if sometimes you're a stack of crap out there, you know, like some people are in the true crime world, you know, at the end of the day, they wouldn't be in the true crime world, most of them, if they didn't care about people. Even if they don't agree with who I am as a creator, I don't really care at all. Zero, actually, you know, because I'm just here to do myself and be me. But by the same token, like I say, I pull myself back because you just get tired of these attacks and you just don't want to deal with it. And it's not like it bugs me, but no, it bugs me that people have to stoop to levels in the world, or they have to, you know, go out of this world taking victims, you know, because of their own anger issues. And then these people's lives are impacted. Like, it's so funny to me, you guys, when my husband said to me, because I say this to him all the time, when my husband said, isn't it funny how 1 minute you can be alive and then the next minute you're gone? I'm like, really? Like, how many times do I say this to you? I tell him this all the time. No, you're not going to get away with giving me a small little kiss like that. What if something happened? You know? Because I'm very much aware that any time, any moment, something can happen. Regardless, something could happen. You know? And I don't want to be one of those people that has those regrets that I didn't, you know, kiss my husband good enough before he left for work that day, or I didn't message him because I was too lazy or involved in something. You know? Like, trust me, my husband gets enough messages going, love you, baby. And I get my messages always back going, love you, beautiful, you know, blah, 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 you know, and stuff like that. I just don't want to have those guilt feelings of that I put something else in front of, you know, my husband and stuff like that. Did you guys all fall asleep? I know I'm just rambling now. Not really. I don't care. Alive's always alive to me, you know. I just find that, you know, so much hate, so much anger. Correct. I would say definitely. I really do believe that the C word created a lot of anxieties in people, witnessing it firsthand because I was still working part-time during it, just trying to help out my boss, keep the store open, you know, just to at least be there every second day or whatever. And I saw how people were reacting. And it was like so crazy. Like, you literally had people jumping back like 15, 20 feet, you know? And then after it was, you know, taming off a little bit there, still the panic in people, even to this day, guys? How is it out there in the States? Are people kind of like, okay, whatever, it's over now? Or have you still seen more of a change in people? You know, because it's going to take a few years before, unless something else comes along that wipes this out and makes it look like a baby compared to something else that comes along, you know. But it's going to take a few years. So let's say nothing else does come along, in a sense, you know. There's some people that were very much horrified, terrified, and still to this day. I mean, I don't know about over there, but in here, if you go in still to a hospital and stuff like that, you still have to put on a mask when you go into any sort of governmenty medical place. Okay, somebody speak. Come on, you guys. You guys didn't all fall asleep on me. Some of you, maybe. Or maybe I guess I should just. Oh, it's already after 1 hour anyway. Who's awake? Who's not? You guys are all doing something else while you're watching this live, aren't you? 22 people. Oh, there you go. Sharon Parker. So you didn't even say hi until just now, because I don't know. I'm not sure when you came in though. Hey, Sharon Parker, how are you? It's like I'm having a conversation with myself. That's what it feels like right now. And that's okay. Because a lot of times I do talk to myself when I'm on the computer. Like even today, when me and my husband and I were cleaning the vehicle, but I was holding down the chair. I'm like talking into the mic, to send a message. My husband kept going, "What?" I'm like, "Honey, no, I'm not talking to you. Just doing a voice message, to Siri or whatever." Doing okay there, Sharon Parker? How's your health going on right now? Yeah, doing like, are you improving? Oh, it's really just about the Texas tragedies. There was two. One happened today, the one from yesterday, and then about Flora. And that, if you haven't seen it, I hope back. It's okay. I'm gonna go in a few minutes anyway. And then Flora, Miao Zedong had Galen on, and then this other lady named Kathy on her live. So I just wanted to, share that, because if you know about the Flora fires, Sharon, which I know you do, then that would be a good live to go watch if you haven't seen it. So I was just asking people, anyone that is coming in now, and if you guys could perhaps, go give that video a share to your social media, so that mother. I would just like to see the Flora girls get their justice as well. We keep seeing these things around us. Karina McClurkin, Ray Hanish, Delphi, you know. Okay. Okay, Sharon. I know you're going through a rough time. And Sandy, of course, if you're watching this as well, I hope that you're doing better yourself. You guys don't know who I mean when I say that, but I do. But anyways, Sandy, Sandra, again, prayers to your guys' health. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds like you're in such a rough state there, Sharon Parker. I know that this is good in comparison how it was, but yeah, bless you, dear. Yeah, I know you got such a beautiful heart there, Sharon Parker. I hate to see anybody struggle, including myself. With age and that comes usually health issues or this issue and stuff like that. I was having that conversation with my husband in the elevator. I was holding. He bought these, Starbucks, and I really shouldn't have this. It's like a strawberry smoothie type thing with whipped cream on top. And so I'm holding the tray, and there's 3 in there, one for his brother, one for me, whatever. But I was holding my iPad as well. Anyways, my hands and that, like my arms and my hands used to be so strong, like really strong. Now it's almost like is arthritis kicking in there because it's like the strength level starts going down. Like I said, I'll be 54 coming up here July 3rd, right? And so I said to my husband's like, what, you can't even carry the drink tray, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, husband, I said, I've told you how weak my hands and that are now. I said, they get sore a lot quicker. They do. Like, they seriously do. And he's just like, yeah, BS or whatever. And I'm like, first of all, this is what kills me. Okay, this is where I wish I could turn back time here. When I was 26, when I was 30, when I was 32, I could dance around most people. I was always very strong, and I always worked hard. I could lift a lot. I was basically what I considered a tomboy in a lot of ways. And I'm like, but I can't say that. I can't do that anymore. So I have my husband. I'm like, husband, you're 32. I'm 54. There is a huge difference in ages. So wait till you get older. So if I'm telling you that my hands and that are weaker now and whatever, then obviously there's a huge difference in ages. I was hugely different in my strength abilities when I was at 32 versus now. I guess if I went to the gym and I could be that, have some pecs and guns going on there, granny or something like that. Yeah. That's right, Sharon Parker. That's right, Sharon Parker. Yeah, diabetes. Yeah. Where is Adam and everyone? Adam. Okay, Adam said he was. I think he was doing something. Like yesterday, he went to a soccer game. I'm not really sure what he's doing tonight, to be honest with you. I didn't bug him or anything like that. Just kind of like me. Not. I kind of want the weekends to myself right now. And if we do a live, we do a live. Just because it is getting nicer, and I want to spend time with my husband. So I'm doing a lot more during the week. Whether it comes out to you guys or not, in a sense, everything's very time consuming. Hey Sarah, how are you on there? Well, glad you're here. Yeah, so it was one of those things. I was contemplating, do I go to bed because I'm really tired and I've spent a lot of time making videos and then editing them and getting the clips. It's mentally exhausting. I tell my husband, you go to a physical job, looking at a computer all day is mentally exhausting. You guys agree? You guys know, and you guys know that time flies by when you're sitting on a computer or something. 2 hours can turn into 4 hours just like that. So I think I fell asleep for a couple hours. I woke up and I looked at the time and I was like, husband, are you in bed already? It's only like 10:30 or something. Like, you're wasting your Saturday night. You know how it is when your Friday's good because you got off work, and your Saturday's great because you got still Sunday still. And then Sunday you're like, shit, I got to work again. Sharon. Are they now? Hey, Sharon, I'm just going to ask you, what's your time zone, by the way? Are you EST? Wait, hold on. What's your time zone? So AK and Tyson are working together now? EST. Okay. Just to ask you, and you can just literally say no. Just to ask you, on the 10th, we'll do a live for Suzanne Morphew. Now, I'm not going to lie, Sharon. I'm not going to try to pretend something I'm not. Obviously, I know about the Suzanne Morphew case from the beginning times of it to the search time, and but I have not been keeping up with all the different aspects of the court. And when like I know that Barry, of course, got released and stuff like that. My question I'm posing to you is, because I know that you're from the Suzanne Morphew case. do you have it in you at all to join us on that live and to talk about Suzanne on the 10th, 3 days from now? Or is that too much? I'm just asking you because I was trying to look for somebody that I knew that, followed the Suzanne case with me, because when I went to Delphi, yeah, her memorial is coming. Yeah. When I went to Delphi, eventually a lot of the Suzanne people kind of were leaving as the Delphi kind of subs were coming in on there. So it's just only because you brought that up, and I was like, oh, it was funny. I was just literally thinking about, who possibly that as well that followed Suzanne might want to join us on a live just for memory's sake of Suzanne or whatever. So like I said, no pressure whatsoever. Just feel free to say no. I was just, me. I don't really hold back. It's like somebody says yes, they say yes. If they say no, they say no. No big deal. It is what it is. Not to put you on the spot or nothing like that, because it to me it's neither here nor there. You don't have to feel guilty. Barry, yes, I know Barry is suing for $15 million, right? What a crock of crap. The guy takes out his wife, right? We all know this. It's kind of like saying that O.J. Simpson is. Okay, let me know tomorrow, okay? And it will simply be just a conversation about Suzanne, really. Just celebrating Suzanne, on her day that she went missing, which will be 3 years tomorrow. So, yeah, and you don't have, and Sharon, just by the way, you don't have to come on camera. You can just use an avatar, use a picture of Suzanne avatar or something like that if you want to, okay? But just let me know tomorrow. Just email me, maybe email me. Wait, Sharon, you're on my messenger, right? Are you on my messenger? Sharon. Ah, there you are. I see you. Okay. Sorry. It's not like I usually message people too often. Yes. Yeah. Just let me know. Okay. Totally up to you. Don't feel obligated by no means, whatever. It was just a thought because I know that you care about that case as well. On there. Okay, you guys. I'm gonna probably head off now. Actually, no. I'll stick around for 6 more minutes. But give me 1 second. 6 minutes. So if anyone wants to say anything, and it doesn't matter about what. I see They're beautiful on it. Yeah. But just give me 1 sec. Okay, so it scared me too. Stop that stuff. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me mute that for a sec. Whew. You guys got a heart attack just like I did? Wait. Oh, AK had a live tonight? Okay, I will. I'll do so. AK rocks, right? Yeah. 1 sec.
After Suzanne.
Hey, well, that woke me up if I was falling asleep. I'll tell you that. Sorry for anybody else that hears that throughout this live. Anyways, okay, so let me do that. Play this quickly. We'll make this bigger. Come on.
I went missing. I have this overwhelming feeling that I needed to come out here and search for her. I actually saw Barry come around the corner, and he rolled down the window on the passenger side, and his mom was in the passenger seat. Barry's mom. And I said, "Are you Barry Morphew?" And the look in his eyes, I knew immediately that he had done something. Instead of what we think happened, he said, "Let me show you what happened," which I thought was an interesting statement.
So let me show you what happened. And I do have a reward. The bike was found at the bottom of the hill by that tree where the peak is.
Oh, really? There's only been 2 times in my life that the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and the day I talked to Barry and he left was one of those days.
Oh, sorry, there we go. Okay. Sharon, I'll still never forget that the day that I played that clip of, oh, Suzanne, I want you back so bad, blah, blah, we miss you. The anger that I felt watching that pathetic plea. We all know how somebody would typically act when they lose someone. When you love someone and care about someone, we know how you would typically act. And that was, that was the most rage I had watching a video to this date. And I literally poked my husband beside me and I was like, honey, you need to watch this. What do you think? You know, and he didn't even know nothing really about the case. He was following it. And he was like, you know, my husband and I are like virtual twins, to be honest with you. But anyways, same thing, right? I'm very intuitive. My husband's very intuitive. You know, lots of people like Sharon. I know you are too. You know, and a lot of, you know, I know that people that are caring, that are into crime, and not everybody, but usually there's a sensitivity level that some people have that is sometimes stronger than others. But I've always had that sixth sense since I was a kid when it came to people and stuff like that. And so now that's not being 100% accurate, people. I'm just saying, you know, most of my life you just go through going, good job. And sometimes you go, oh, called that one wrong. But it's usually very rare in comparison to what your gut feeling says. Now with Barry Morphew, you know, it's one of those cases like OJ, right? You know, they did it. And for the lack of the, you know, obviously body. Right, Sarah, absolutely. You know, from the fact of the lack of evidence, you know, in a sense, and this is kind of really what happened, is that sometimes it's just simply the lack of evidence, that there's not enough, and that's why they had to back away from it, you know. And so now Barry is suing for $15 million. But we'll go over that, you know, on the 10th, Suzanne's memorial. So, okay, so Saren, that's good. You know, so I had seen Tyson. I had actually talked to Tyson a few times via text message. He wasn't the greatest, though, at getting back, and when he did, I have to laugh, actually, because now that I'm thinking about the last message, I remember, you know, when you send somebody a heartfelt message, and then Tyson's message back to me was, hey, do you want to buy a $200 rug or something like that? And I'm like, what? What? I just remember that now. But anyways, Tyson took a lot of brunt. You know, at 1 minute he's a hero. He took some brunt, and the next minute he's a hero. And then next minute people are shitting on him again. And I'm so glad that what I felt was karma. I know. Yeah, Sharon. I know, Jeff Puckett. Yeah. That Google Gabbler. And so what I was going to, and so what I felt was karma is that next thing I know, you know, Nancy Grace and Tyson, you know, connected, you know, and then connected after that as well. And so I always feel like it's karma. Again, when you put out good to the universe, and this is what I'm talking about earlier, is that when you're trying to be a decent human being, you know, and then people turn around and just shit on you, right? Yeah. And people are like little freaking ants, little followers and stuff. Instead of just being strong in themselves, you know, they got to be little wussies, you know, like a little pack rat sometimes, right? It's like, think for yourself instead of hopping on the freaking train or whatever. But anyways, so I kind of felt like it was karma that, here all these people that were shitting on me. Hey, well, there's Tyson now with Nancy Grace. Sucks to be you haters, And although I don't, like I said, Suzanne Morphew is always in my heart. Like, of course, I put a lot of time into that case. In fact, that case exhausted me. I was actually on burnout from that case. And then once I dived into Delphi, I couldn't imagine kind of keeping up with both of them. But still keeping up the gist of Suzanne, but I wasn't paying attention to all the different court things that were going on with Barry besides the gist of what was going on. And I know that, and whether or not, like Gonzo, even Cop Facts, have that soft spot for the Suzanne Morphew case, of course, as well, and AK. There's a lot of people that have that soft spot, obviously, for Suzanne's case, because it's like watching somebody get away with something, and they did it, and you have these daughters that don't want to believe that their dad did anything, even though I don't really want to speak too ill will of their daughters, but I wasn't impressed by just the lack of social media, for their mom. It's almost like feeling of like, did you kind of care about your mom there? Because none of your posts, all you're showing is your little skanky selves on pictures on social media. How about putting a picture up there, of your mom or something, So I was, and even watching them parade out of court with their, I don't know, Jeff, yeah. And Our Heart's Beautiful Angel, absolutely. Someone sent RA paper and pen. Yeah. Honestly, again, not even gonna get it. I'm not gonna talk about that whatsoever because I don't watch any of that stuff. Someone sent me the video to watch yesterday, and I clicked on it for 5 minutes. No offense to the person hosting it, but just seeing the other two people on it, I was like, yeah, that's not happening. Again, those people can do their thing and go their way, and that I just, yeah. But I do have to laugh though, in a certain way, because every time I turn around, that Noah guy, like I said, those two. Oh God. Okay, I'll say one thing. When I heard said person say, I haven't heard anybody, poor innocent little me. I don't know why I would have haters and type of thing. Okay, that made me laugh so hard. Really? I'm pretty sure I can pull up all those freaking screenshots if I really wanted to, but if I cared, which I don't. But as for the other one, the little flybird character. I mean, honestly, talking about inserting yourself into a case. And we all know that someone can easily forge documents and show documents, said person, but I got proof. She sent me proof, I tipped in RA. I'm the one, me the hero. I'm a hero, guys. I'm the one that actually tipped in RA. Okay, don't, come on now. That's just rolling on the floor laughing my ass off, So it's more that it's comical, than anything. Because it's kind of, like, it's one of those things that's just it's really comical, like so but anyways, I've heard a lot of good things about this Ruckus person. I don't know who Ruckus is because I've heard of this name. So, you know, for anyone that does want to go check out his channel, that's where you guys can find, you know, person one and person two on that. And, you know, and then you have the sapsuckers that actually believe some of the stuff that, well, maybe some of the stuff might be accurate. Not from the second guy. Second guy doesn't know. Well, the second guy could probably offer information to, like I said, I listened to about like 5 minutes and I just couldn't. You know how you just can't? You're just like, especially when I heard that she was saying that she's never done anything to anyone. Oh, poor little her was the victim of, maybe pull back up your videos that you did, you know, whatever. Anyways, so that's just she's really comical to me, to be honest with you. Let her do her thing. You know, like I said, life has its way of working out, and that Noah Freebird, Flybird, you know, big turd, whatever, that's just inserting himself into the case and whatever. They're just both angry at me, honestly. It's very comical because I don't pay attention to them. And it's only because somebody sent me that link and I was like, yeah, you know, like, honestly, I could care less, you know. Say my name out of your mouth. Keep saying it. I don't care, you know. But again, so I've heard nothing but good things about this person named Ruckus. Apparently, he's I think retired cop. And that's only because he said something which reminded me or made me ask if he happened to be one. So respect to that. And again, I've heard nothing but good things. I personally don't know who the person is. But yeah, just, I mean, hey, you know, what I do realize, even though I still shake my head at sometimes people, well, a lot of times, who am I kidding? Is that I'm a creator and I'm here to create. And I'm here because that's what I'm doing, because I enjoy it and putting out content and doing lives and creating content to the best and truest form that we can put out there. Yeah. Deb was saying that about Ruckus. And so, you know, obviously I realize that it doesn't matter if you're a trash channel, if you're a good channel, if you're just a mediocre channel, or if you're just an amazingly awesome channel. You know, people that don't create typically, you know, you guys are just mostly bouncing around from channel to channel, trying to listen to certain things, seeing if you're picking up a little bit of information and stuff like that. I don't really watch hardly anybody's channel. I watch sometimes, okay, very rare, but I do watch some things. I don't usually watch the whole thing, but sometimes I do. But it's one of those things, like when I first started out in true crime, and I was watching everybody's different channels, you know, different things and whatever, you know, trying to kind of gather information more about the case and learn things about Abby and Libby, you know, through what was out in the media, what was out, you know, this time, like I said, I'm new to true crime whatsoever. I'm not even planning on being in true crime. You know, like I said, it didn't even monetize till like I was 2,000 and something subscribers. You know, at that point, it was just stupid if YouTube was paying you for ads. Oh, okay, I didn't know that, but you know, I knew something about YouTube vaguely for that stuff. But anyways, the more I watch other people's channels, I'm not the person that likes to. I'm not the person that likes to insert planted stuff in my head. And so I like to try to do the work myself, and using more of the avenues that are out there by interviews or whatever. I don't usually like to go off of another creator's live that's maybe a little bit, not much, but a little bit. I'd rather use what's out there in media, you know, or interviews and stuff like that, and try to dig for stuff myself. So when you start going to all these Facebook groups, my head was spinning. It got to the point that it was just mush. There was so many different things, but by the same token, you guys, it was kind of a good thing, because then you get to learn that a lot of it's just a bunch of crap, you know, and you have to, of course, decipher and push away the stuff. But it got to the point where my head was spinning so bad from everyone's different POIs to different, it didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter what it was. There was all these different things being said, canoe trips and this person and, it was just whatever. And then, so it's like planting seeds in my head. I don't typically like to have seeds planted much in my head because I like to go into it more or less with my own work so that I could try to figure out stuff, the answers, and then bring a video. So when people are accusing you of stealing their work or, and you don't do any research in that, like I said, that it's laughable. Crock of crap. I work freaking hard and I know it. And I have no problem saying it because I work really hard and I'm proud of who I am as a person. I'm proud that I do. Let me put it this way. Like I said, it's okay to be proud of yourself in certain things, And when it comes to true crime and caring about people, that's something somebody can never rip away from me, and no one can take away my hard work that I do, and I do it because I enjoy it. I enjoy digging into things. I enjoy trying to put the picture together, but it's for the purpose of, like Abby and Libby's case, it's for the purpose of Abby and Libby, of trying to understand what happened to those girls. I know with you guys too, it's ripped your guys' hearts out wondering what happened that day that Abby's and Libby's lives were taken. It's not knowing. Just like when somebody's loved one is nowhere to be found, it's not knowing. So I get the fact that people travel to the different, especially when you're not a creator, travel and are getting different information. It doesn't matter if it comes from the sewer rat, it doesn't matter if it comes from the Prince of England, I guess, whatever, So, that I respect in a sense. You guys know what I don't respect, of course. But you guys know who I have a hard time with, but I'm not going to bring them up again and whatever. I mean, everybody knows, type of thing. Again, it's somebody's choice. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Somebody's. I just I have a hard time with being a female, and I'm all one for all that stuff. I just have a hard time with being a female, and then supporting someone that's known to be abusive to females. I like to keep my morals in check, but yet by the same token, I'm not perfect, and it's rare, but I put my morals aside sometimes of stuff I wouldn't do, but I always feel it. I always feel it in my heart. It's like I knew I shouldn't have looked at those videos yesterday, but that part of me was curious. I know I probably shouldn't watch JLR, but at least he's comical. And I already know what I'm looking at, but typically I wouldn't give. So I'm my own harshest person on myself because I always try to, lead the best moral life that I can, but knowing I'm not perfect, of course. I just have a hard time with people when they it's almost like feeling like someone like being a traitor. Like, really? I'll smack talk this guy, and then all of a sudden it's almost like, oh, whose butt were we kissing today? Oh, really? And it's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, come on my channel. Come and have our platform on my channel and stuff like that, And yet you're like, oh, wait, weren't you just really? Oh, things change. Someone comes out of jail and things change. Your streams fall at the same time as my bedtime. No, I've been on here for a little longer. Yeah. You know what? Again, this channel is all like, for me, this is what I care about. This channel, the other people can do whatever they want. whatever they want. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Do what you want. Do what you want. YouTube will either take care of you. If you're a nasty channel, you'll get reported enough. YouTube will take care of you at some point. And it's just called karma, what you put out to the universe. You know, what you put out to the universe, comes back at you. Simple as that. So I don't got time to sit there with those, ones and worry about what they're saying, if they're saying my name out of their mouth and stuff like that. I don't care, because if I cared about what everybody said, it doesn't matter who you are, right? And you guys know this, eat your own selves, right? You got people that hate you, doesn't matter what you do. And you got people that love you. I don't have time for the haters. I only got time to do me and to do for this channel. And what the other people do with theirs, like I said, karma, fate, whatever, will take care of it. And I always just hope, and it doesn't happen this way, we all know it doesn't, and you always just hope that things will work out the way that they're meant to work out properly. But sometimes they don't, right? Sometimes, like I said, you still get sticks going at you or whatever, or you don't use the C word on your thing and someone reports you and then your channel gets taken down. Not taken down, sorry, you get a strike where you can't upload and stuff like that. And then you get back, oops, we're sorry, and stuff like that. And you're just like, is that really how easy it is, YouTube? Is that really how easy it is for someone to say, oh, copyright or this or that, and stuff like that? And in your head, you're just like, really, So I always try to do things the right way, But like I said, sometimes life doesn't always deal you the fairest deck of cards, even when you try to be that way. And that's when you either have to sulk about it or move on from it. You are totally lovely, Sunny. Your morals and respect are the same as mine. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, and is that your picture, Sarah? Is that truly your picture as your icon there? I just don't want to say it if it's not, but because that's a very beautiful pic. So I'm just not sure, but because not everyone wants to put their real face out there or not. Yeah, that was very nice. And Tara, thank you as well. It's none of my business what someone thinks of me. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna lie though. I totally actually forget that some of these people exist. Honestly, I really do. I just really muddle about my own stuff. And as you kind of grow as a channel, like even more so, because from where I was, say a couple years ago, to where I am now, I've changed dramatically, and I don't just tell everybody off. I wasn't telling everybody off, but there was like a lot of nasty people with Delphi, and after a while, you're just like, wait a second, doesn't matter what you do, these people are always around you, and then so why would should I feed into it and stuff like that? And then after a while, it just became very laughable. Deb knows. Like, Deb, how many times did somebody say that he was going to, come to our house and take us out? Right? Like, how many times did we see that? It's to the point where you're looking at the camera going, here I am. Come on. You keep saying you're going to do that to us, but come on, let's go. And after a while, it just becomes ridiculous. And then you just ignore it. And then you realize, wait, I'm just here to focus on the channel and try to bring the content out there. And by that same token, and I truly do. I know Adam does too, and Deb too, even, and Sharon and all you guys. It's like a family. It really is to me. Like, there's a certain group of people that come to this channel that's like a family, and they're consistent. They're always here. They're always around. They're doing lives. And then some of those people in time are going to come and they're going to go, because I might piss somebody off and say that one wrong thing. And then next thing you know, out of that one thing that I said, they decide that they're not going to, subscribe to me or watch me anymore or whatever. So it doesn't matter about the 100 good things you guys do, somebody does sometimes. You say that one wrong thing to them and oops. And I understand that, and I, of course, am very much aware of that. But that's not going to stop me from being who I am, And I don't like trolls. and I'm not never gonna let the trolls ever take over here. I don't care how many of them. If I end up with 5,000 blocks in the next year, I don't really care. I don't feel like I'm losing a subscriber out of it. You know, yeah. It's always about respect. Respect to me. Treat me how you want to be treated yourself. So if you talk ignorantly to me, expect it back. But now I just barely block you, so I don't really, have time. Don't really care. And the comments that people put as hate comments, I usually try not to like answer them back anymore or whatever. Sometimes I'll still block the odd person, but sometimes I'll just be like, all right, somebody obviously pissed in your cornflakes. Have a great day. Like you're not going to impact me by your comments. And that's the one thing that my twin sister, that me and her are very different. People's honestly comments really don't impact me. Like I don't ever walk away from the computer crying because somebody said something. I don't even really give it much thought, to be honest with you. It used to bug me a little bit more back in the day because it just felt like, wow, a lot of mean people are in this freaking community. But then it's because you're in your head, you're going, true crime, mean people. Wait, what? Oh, selfish creators. Oh, egotistical creators. Oh, this. A lot of egos out there. I'll tell you that much. There's definitely a lot of egos there. I totally appreciate the people that are very grounded, that are just very grounded. No matter how big your channel gets, stay grounded, unless of course you're, a D in the first place, and you were that way the whole way through. All right, what do you got? I know. All right, guys. You know what? The thing is, I could sit here and talk for another 2-3 hours if I could, but I might as well go and make him work on a video. We do have tomorrow night some members live. Yeah, I don't even know what that's about yet, to be honest. Do we do more true crime trivia? I don't know. Oh, I think I'm going to do a live in the morning for the UK. Not in the morning, but afternoon. I think I might do a live for the UK people for the Nicola Bully case and for the coronation. I really do have questions about that coronation thing that I watched. Oh, hi, Meow. Yeah, I gave you a shout out at the start of the video. Hopefully, I know you seen what I put there. I only watched probably about 5 minutes when I got home because Deb from True Crime Notebook there told me about it, and so yeah, I'm gonna watch that fully later. It's so nice that you had her on your channel. Yeah, so I will be watching that later. I seen the part where it's like she was talking about the girls and she was tearing up, but then she was like laughing at the same time, knowing that such sadness. And again, it's great that creators, that we don't always cover always the same cases and stuff like that, and that's the joy of it. So although I know Flora, I know a good chunk of it, but not really in-depthly. But I'm so glad for channels like yourself that are bringing awareness to the Flora ones especially. And I've seen you guys like Thomas Frost, and you guys really pushing hard for Galen. I'm not sure you say Galen. Yeah, Flora, it's such a sad, tragic case. It just reminds me personally, and again, I'll have to watch the live there. And, but Carroll County is just a very corrupt county, very, very corrupt county. So I'm curious, to be honest, if you had asked her, because I haven't listened to it, how she feels about that house still standing, or, would she rather it being taken down than still have the remnants of the memories? Curious about that one a little bit, because how Brian Koberger case, I'm not sure if you're aware of that one, the Brian Koberger Idaho case, she wants it gone to make a memorial. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Okay, because I was going to listen to see if that was asked. And that's exactly what should happen with it, is that it should be turned into a memorial, just like what their school is going to do for Brian Koberger for that house, turn it into a memorial in memory of those 4 victims from the Idaho case. Yeah, that would be a great idea. Absolutely. Yeah. As far as I remember, she had moved to California. I'm not sure if she's still there or not. Anyways, heartbreaking story. I couldn't imagine. I can never imagine. Could never imagine. It's amazing what strength people have. It's a very sad one. And I really truly hope that it does get its justice. And maybe, perhaps, like Karina McClurkin, like Ray Hanish, that it might take a while. Good. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for popping in, though. And at any point, if you ever want to do a live and come on and talk about it, absolutely, with me and Adam and stuff like that, feel free. You can just, anyways, if you do, it's, simply acrimingshame@gmail.com. That's my email address there. Yeah, unless you're on Twitter, at Criming Shame, Sunny Justice on there. Yeah, do you have, yeah. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if your email's on your thing, on your about on there, but anyways, yeah, like I said, I'm hoping that people, it's a good interview to see. That's why I shared it across the platforms, and telling others to do the same. It's a case that really needs justice. Anyways, thank you for stopping by, and justice for those girls. Heartbreaking story. Heartbreaking. I'm looking forward to doing that. Actually, I might go do that next. Go lie in bed and do that. All right. You take care. All the best to you. And again, bless for having, like I said, her on the show. Many times, yeah. I had actually was wanting to contact her actually over the last, I'd say year and a half. I'm not really sure when you reached out to her, but I was contemplating that multiple times because the Flora girl story, always stuck in my head. But then, it's sometimes the timing's just not right, and it's almost like, you don't want to sometimes bring up obviously something you don't know if the person even cares to go on lives or talk about their whatever. Anyways, when the right time was the right time, it was the right time, so it was just really nice, and I'll be looking forward to watching that live tonight. Yeah. Anyways, okay, you guys, so I'm gonna head off for tonight. Again, please, if you haven't subscribed to Meow, go subscribe, go check out the live on the channel, and as well as we'll see you tomorrow. Well, I'll do one in the afternoon for the UK and whoever else wants to watch for Nicola in the Coronation Street. And then we'll have our members live tomorrow night on Monday, as always. And other than that, you guys, God bless, take care, and thank you guys very much. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Good night. Sharon Parker, you guys take care. And let me play my outro. Now, even though, remember, Adam's not here, but I'm still going to play it anyway. Take care, guys. This is Sunny Justice and Aspen Connor from It's a Criming Shame, wishing you all a good night.